So in this video, we're going to talk about the Knicks clinching their playoff berth. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, I'm so excited, man. And listen, I'm going to also touch on why this playoff run will be different from the last playoff run. And I think we could go deep. Let's talk about it. So, let's talk about it, man. Look, I just want to give a quick recap. Shout out to the New York Knicks. Big up the Knicks. Let's go, man. We beat the Wizards 118-109. Of course, they didn't have 4 starters, and they're eliminated from the playoffs. But sometimes these little teams, they want to go at you because they have nothing to lose. So they just want to try to kill you and try to hurt you and do what they do. But we took care of business the way we were supposed to. And I am very, very proud of my Knicks team, man. I mean, listen, this is the first time since, I think they said 2018, if you can see on the screen, where we had 4 guys with 20 or more. That's impressive, man. You know what that shows me? That shows me that this team will do whatever it takes to win, and they also have guys that can put the ball in the basket, guys that you probably wouldn't expect to put the ball in the basket, like a Grimes and a Toppin, because Toppin doesn't really get the time. But that game to me was a powerful game, and I was happy to see it. Big up to the Knicks, man. And look, we have a lot of reasons to be optimistic. Chris Child said that we could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, that was an early prediction, right? He didn't make it like last week. This was back in December. I did a video on that. Make sure you can go check that out. Okay? I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, now we have a lot to be optimistic about, but we also need to be wary about Julius Randle's health. Now, before I get into my first point, why don't you take the time to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications, and then like the video so more cool Knicks fans can see this video. Now, let's get back to the content. Now, I said in the Julius Randle video, you can also check that I did a video about Julius Randle's prognosis, and I said he could likely miss the entire playoffs. So my prediction is really, that's my caveat, that Randle will be there. So I saw him in the booth. Now, I said that if you see Randle at the games, that's a positive sign. Now, I didn't like the limp off when the game was over, he wanted to go to the back. I didn't like that, but I do like the fact that he was at the game, because that's telling me that maybe the injury is not that bad, even though he was in the booth. But don't let the boot get you. I just want to tell you about my first point. The reason why this playoff run will be different from the last one, and possibly why we can go deep, is we have 2 all-star caliber players, Brunson and Randle. In 2021, I'm in research mode. In 2021, we only had 1 all-star caliber players. Alfred Payton wasn't there. Reggie Bullock wasn't there. You dealing with a young Quickly. We had this guy on the team. I'm just going to highlight the cursor. If you're watching the video, you can see how I want to get to. So we didn't really have much firepower on an all-star level this year. If I could just go to this year's team right quick. I mean, look at the difference. 25 and 24. On that 21 team, you only had Randle with 24. Fast forward to now, he's actually bumped up his scoring to 25. And Brunson come in with 24, and RJ has 19. So you have more firepower. Like I said, all-star caliber players. Another thing I want to touch on, we have the 5th best road record in the league and the 3rd best in the East. You got to understand why that stat is so important. So if you look at the standings, right? So like I said, Bucks is the only team we didn't beat in Milwaukee or anything like that. But we beat the Celtics in Boston. We got to win. I believe we got to win in Philly, right? I got to check that, but we got to win in Cleveland. Of course, we won in Brooklyn, and we also won in Miami, right? But these teams we probably won't see. But the point that I'm saying is we have the ability to win on the road, and that's going to be pivotal. And once again, let me go back to the old team. If you look at that road record, 16 and 20. Right? So it was a losing percentage. And this year we have a winning percentage on the road, playing more games on the road. And then also, let's not forget that we were the 4th seed and the Hawks was the 5th seed and the Hawks beat us. So I'm hoping that we can have a repeat there. with the 5th seed getting the win. So I do want to stop and ask you a question. How deep do you think we can go in the playoffs? I know I'm talking about second round, possibly, maybe Chris Childs, Eastern Conference. I don't know. But tell me in the comments box what you think and how far you believe our playoff run will be this year. So my third reason is, look, we own the Cavs. We own the Cavs. 3 games to 1 in the series. And I know you're going to tell me, oh, it's the regular season. Regular season doesn't matter. And that's true. I mean, there's no real correlation to you winning regular season games. And that means you're going to win playoff games against the same team. It's just not guaranteed. But I do want to say this, right? The Cavs do not have much playoff experience. Mobley, no playoff experience, right? Stevens, no playoff experience. Garland, no playoff experience. LeVert, playoff experience. Mitchell, playoff experience. Allen, who's normally the starter, playoff experience. But none of these guys have Usman, Wade. They ain't got no playoff experience. Robin Lopez, Rubio, and Green has experience, but those guys barely play. As opposed to if you pull up our team, let's go up to our team. If you look at our squad, Toppins played in the playoffs that one time. Mitch would have played, but he was hurt. Brunson, you already know what he did. Spida Killa. Yes, I'm the first to coin that phrase, that name. I know some people think it's early, but Brunson, in my opinion, is a Spida Killer. And if we have a healthy Julius Randle, he will prove it again this year. Okay? RJ Barrett, playoff experience, right? And when I say, I'm not saying these guys have illustrious careers in the playoffs, but I am saying they have at least 1 round experience, 1 year experience, right? So Grimes doesn't have playoff experience, right? And Hart doesn't have playoff experience. Those are the only guys that don't have playoff experience that's in the rotation. Hartstein, playoff experience, and Quickly has playoff experience. Our guys, I feel, are more battle tested for this playoff run. And I can't wait to get it started. But yeah, both teams are young. But all I'm saying is that our key guys all have playoff experience. Rather, a couple of their key guys, like Garland, doesn't have playoff experience. So let's get down to my next point. So we are the healthiest team in the league. One of the most healthiest team in the league. The only team that got us beat is the Sacramento Kings. And if you want to contrast it, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're like 4th worst healthiest team, meaning they have so many injuries. Boston's up there. Boston's in the top 10, right? And Milwaukee's in the top 15. So right now, the Bucks is the best team in the East. So that means that we would have to see them in the second round. I don't want to see the Bucks in the second round because they're the best team in the league, and they're probably going to win the championship, right? But if the Celtics can somehow sneak to that 1st seed, I believe we can beat them because, like I said, let me go back to the injuries. Listen, the Celtics, they get hurt. They're prone to injuries. And also another thing, too, is the main point of the injuries is that I believe we have the best chemistry. I believe that because if our lineups, especially our 9-man rotation, pretty much play with each other the whole year, going into the playoffs, that's going to help be an added advantage. So I hinted towards the Celtics. I'm going to go back to the Celtics, right? So I'm going to go back to the records. Now, you see the Celtics is the second team. If they get to that 1st seed, I definitely think that we can beat the Celtics. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, Karan, it's the regular season. Yes, it's the regular season. But if you think about this standings, the Milwaukee Bucks are the only team that we didn't beat in the entire Eastern Conference. But let's just stick to the top guys that's in the playoffs. Because everyone that's in the top 8, we smashed. There's only 2 teams we didn't smash or tie with. The Raptors and the Bucks. Those are the only 2 teams we didn't, but every other team in the East, we pretty much smashed. We smashed the Celtics 3-1. tied with the Sixers, 2-2. 3-1 against the Cavs, 2-2 with the Nets, but the last two was a blowout because remember they traded Durant. And the Heat 3-1, Hawks 3-1, Raptors 3-1 us, which was kind of crazy. But we don't have to ever worry about seeing. Well, you never know. Anything can happen. But the bottom line is, if that Celtics get to the first seed, I believe we got the ability to take them out. You know, we beat them convincingly, and I'm confident in my squad, man. And let me get to my last point, the offensive firepower. So I'm going to go back to the Washington game. I mean, look, we got 4 guys scoring 20 points without 2 of our 20 points score. Think about it. We got 4 guys that scored 20 points, right? This is one of our best offensive teams in the history of the Knicks. I think it's a top 3 team in scoring for the franchise. And I want to let's look at some of the offensive ratings, man. So we're 13th in points, 4th in, basically having good ball control. Not a good assist team, but we've been assisting better since we got Hart. Total rebounds, we're 2nd in total rebounds. We're 3rd in free throw attempts, right? We get the threes up, you know what I mean? We 8th in 3-point attempt. So our ratings are not bad. I mean, we're not a great 3-point shooting team, but we need to get our assist games up. But that's it. And our free throws, that's it. Everything else, we're like either middle of the pack or we're elite. And if you look at, let's look down here. Offensive, we're 5th in offensive rating, man. That's powerful. For those that don't know what offensive rating is, this is the Objective Knicks fan. I'm going to teach you guys about basketball. And I'm not the biggest advanced stat guy, but some of these stats are important. Offensive rating is an important stat you should know. And that's the middle points produced by players or scored teams per 100 possessions. So that's all. It's just buckets. And we're 5th in that at getting buckets. That's all for this video. I definitely would probably touch on the playoffs more, especially our matchup with the Cavs. I'm gonna do a Spida Killa video because I'm the one that coined that phrase, and I stand by it. And if the only way we won't beat Mitchell, and it would be Mitchell's best hope, is if Randle's not ready to go. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you get all your notifications, and then like the video so more cool Knicks fans can see the video. And until next time, let's go Knicks!